Old versus new Group 3 cars. This thought has been twirling around my head ever since Spec 3 with the addition of the Ferrari 296. I'm not talking about some of the really old Group 3s like the JGTC cars or even certain cars like the BMW M3 from 2011. The debate is unquestionably one-sided against them. I'm talking about cars that used to be the most modern Group 3 cars for a specific manufacturer but have been replaced by their successors and updates and have since fallen into irrelevancy. That opening sequence in Cars 3 where the older racers start retiring or get thrown out for the newer racers, that's similar to what's been happening in Group 3 over the course of GT7. Mercedes, Nissan, Ferrari, Porsche, all of those brands have had their successors added in updates, leaving their predecessors to fall by the wayside. The Ferrari 458 and Porsche 911 RSR are not bad cars per se. They can still be competitive, but there's no denying that the 296 and 911 GT3R are superior to those older cars. In the case of Nissan and Audi though, that's a far different story. If we look at the default settings for both Nissans, we can see that the 2018 model has 400-600 downforce, but the 2013 model has 350-650 downforce, inherently more understeery than the 2018 model. And Audi is even worse. Looking at the high-speed BOP, the RA LMS Evo weighs 2,877 pounds, but the original RA LMS from 2015 weighs 2,989 pounds, a full 111 pounds more than the Evo model. So my thinking is that there are three cars in particular that I think are at risk of being replaced. Now, before I talk about the three cars I see as at risk, let me explain the reasons as to why I think this way. Reason 1 is potential BOP changes. Remember when the Ferrari 296 was added and the Daily C that week was at Fuji? Well, the most ironic thing happened at the start of it, where the older 458 was actually faster than the new 296 and was even a meta car for a bit. But not even a week later, the BOP was updated, which ended up nerfing the 458. If I remember correctly, the meta cars then became the RA Evo and I think the Citroen. I wish I had footage of this example, but I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so it's way too late. Reason 2 is simply the presence of the new car. When Yas Marina was Daily C in February, the Porsche 911 GT3R was brand spanking new, so predictably everyone, including myself, went to give it a try. But then it started popping up in big numbers at Laguna Seca, Mount Panorama, Brands Hatch, Road Atlanta, even non-meta tracks. There was still a large number of them, so it's easy to say the 992 is very overpowered for now. So now, for the following three cars, I wouldn't be surprised if either of these reasons impact them in some way, shape, or form in the future. The first of these three cars is the BMW M6. This is of the biggest significance to me because the M6 is my favorite Group 3 car. It can be a handful sometimes, but its medium and high-speed cornering is top-notch. Tracks like Watkins Glen, Road Atlanta, St. Croix B, and the full Nürburgring are where you'll often find this car in higher sized quantities near the top of the leaderboards, and for good reason. However, its successor is the BMW M4, which is a very highly requested car from what I've seen online. This is why I see the M6 as at the highest risk of these cars. Its successor is very highly requested, so it could end up like the Porsche 992 situation. The second of these three cars is the Lamborghini Huracan. Opposite of the M6, the Huracan excels more at tracks with low and medium speed corners with its lift-off oversteer. Tracks like Catalunya, Interlagos, and Yas Marina better suit this car. Its most modern successor is the Lamborghini Temerario, but I see the Huracan as at the least risk of these three because the Temerario is the newest GT3 in real life, if you don't count the Genesis, which isn't in competition yet, that is. So it's probably going to take some time before it arrives. The final of these three cars is the McLaren 650S. Unlike the M6 or Huracan, the 650S doesn't really have any standout characteristics in terms of performance. It's stable, sure, but I personally find that it can't extract as much time as other cars on average. Its successor is the McLaren 720S, which I think will come before the Temerario because it's been around for a few years now compared to the new Lambo. To conclude this, I'd like to ask you, the viewer, your thoughts. This is my intention with all that I have said so far, to ask you what you think might happen with anything that I've discussed. Could BOP changes occur around the time one of these new cars are added? Which new car is going to be the strongest? Which old car could be hit the heaviest by potential BOP changes or new cars? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.